There is this thing that Adler used to call the lifestyle. And this lifestyle, when you hear the term, you might be thinking about a lifestyle where you are lazy or a lifestyle where you are a sports person or addicted to video games, but that's not necessarily it. Because 100 years ago, when Adler came up with the term, he referred to it as what we now call personality, like the set of traits and the patterns of thought and behaviors that you present to the world. So that's basically the lifestyle. And back in the day when he talked about this stuff, he said that psychologists and even more experienced people in the domain of psychology should be able to accurately predict one's future decisions based on their lifestyle. So, for example, concretely speaking, let's say you are a shy, introverted, reserved person, and you are usually not very talkative. Maybe you are very talkative with a couple of your friends because you really trust them and you sense that everything is safe and fine and you can express yourself. But to the world, you are very reserved because you kind of believe the world is hostile and you might be judged. Well, then it's only logical and natural that you will never go out on stage in front of thousands of people and speak about your deepest fears and insecurities. Like, it's pretty easy to predict, right? But this is a very extreme example. The thing that had a really big impact on me was when I heard this thing that even the smallest of decisions could be predicted based on your lifestyle. Like, I just felt like a loser hearing that. Like, do I have any free will at all if just my lifestyle and my autopilot behavior dictates what I'm gonna do? Like, where is my proactiveness? Like, can I even be proactive in the first place? Or is everything on autopilot? And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live my life like that. I don't just want to be guided by the events that have happened in my life like everyone else. I want to have a say in the things that I'm doing right now. And I want to be proactive in doing them. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now and what I'm working on. But audit this for your life. How proactive are you? Are you proactive at all, or are you living guided by the previous experiences of life? Like, I feel like behaving like this, but I kind of know that doesn't work as I tried it several times throughout my life, and people didn't really like the way I look, didn't really respect me. So I'm just gonna behave like that because that's socially acceptable and that's absolutely perfect. Most people do this, and I can't really judge them because this is the easiest way to do it. This is the way that's not really gonna get you judged a lot. And if you're a reserved, anxious person, then you probably do this as well. Because you just want to blend in, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're blending in. To the general public, you are just an NPC, a non-player character from video games. The ones that don't do anything, just do a couple of animations here and there, and don't take part in the story. That's how you look to the world. You're blending in, you are nothing special, you are invisible. And that's actually good, because that's exactly what you wanted to do. If you wanted to take ownership of everything that is you, and if you took responsibility for the possibility that people might reject you and you might feel uncomfortable, you might go through a horrible amount of sensations, you would take the courage to put yourself out there, because when you have the courage to do that, some people absolutely respect that. I even think all people respect that, but some people decide to hate on that. Some people become envious of that, or some people just don't vibe with that, and that's perfectly fine normally. Like, now with your mature conscious mind, you are able to see that it's fine if some people don't like you. But the version of you that's still a baby, the version of you that's still attached to the traumas of your past, that version of you doesn't care about this logic and common sense, because that version of you only cares about survival. And if you want to be a person that's, let's say, that just has a more vibrant social life, and you didn't manage to do that, and every single time you try to work on that, you feel so much resistance and a lot of blocks, and you just have to behave in this way that you know is socially acceptable instead of just behaving the way you naturally would and the way you feel like behaving. It's just because of that baby version of you that's still attached to the trauma. Your attachments are holding you back from being who you want to be. That's the only thing. Because those attachments are the reason your limiting beliefs exist. If you think about, let's say, going on stage and talking about your passions, I'm sure instantly the limiting beliefs that will pop in your mind will be like, well, people don't care about my passions. Why would they care? Why do I have the right to talk about what's interesting to me? People don't care about that. They will never care about that. They will start booing, throwing eggs at me, just being on their phones. And I will just feel insecure and even more anxious. And the premise and just my limiting belief will get reinforced because that's the absolute truth of the world. But is that really the case? Is that really the absolute truth, or is that just a conclusion that younger you drew in a limited set of circumstances where they didn't even see the world as, how can I say it? They didn't even see the world objectively, just from their subjective perspective, which was completely threatening back then. And when you are a child, you are maybe in a small group of friends or in the classroom. That's the entire world in your perception. When you're with your family inside of your house, that's the entire world. If they are mad at you, you feel threatened because you might be rejected. Your primal brain says, if I'm rejected, I will get kicked out of the tribe and I will die because I'm small and helpless. And all of these conclusions just get drawn because of these few limiting beliefs that are not even true anymore. So hopefully this is a signal for you to take more ownership of who you really are and to just be like, enough is enough. I don't want to be guided by these autopilot behaviors that I keep presenting. I want to have some say in what I do. I want to have the free will. I want to be more proactive. Because unless you will, you are going to live the rest of your life in the same way you have been living until now. If you're fine with that, then it's not my problem. If you're not, then just make yourself a favor and take action.